Traffic 6-6, shots fired. Traffic 6-6, shots fired. Trout River, limb turner.
After watching this video, it's gonna make you think twice, maybe even 3 times about traffic stops.
This video is coming out of Jacksonville, Florida, March 12th, 2025, when a deputy makes a traffic stop. And when the driver finally stops, what happens is absolutely shocking. But the deputy's response is even more shocking. Let's watch the video. When we come back, we're gonna break this down.
We might just have opposite perspectives on things that aren't informed by some sort of foreign power.
Stay in the cars. Traffic 6-6, shots fired. Traffic 6-6, shots fired. Trout River, limb turner. Traffic 6-6, it's going to be Trout River Rebot. Trout River Rebot. I'm hit in my foot. Bravo Mike, he's got a rifle on gun. I'm retreating back. Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get fucking back, you dumb shit! Where is he? It's a Bravo Mike long gun. I'm holding this corner. He's going to be northwest.
Sometimes people might just have opposite perspectives on things that aren't informed by some sort of foreign power.
Stay in the cars. Traffic 6-6, shots fired. Traffic 6-6, shots fired. Trout River, limb turner. Traffic 6-6, it's going to be Trout River Rebot. Trout River Rebot. I'm hit in my foot. Bravo Mike, he's got a rifle on gun. I'm retreating back. Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get fucking back, you dumb shit! Where is he? It's a Bravo Mike long gun. I'm holding this corner. He's going to be northwest. Traffic 6-6, his vehicle stopped behind mine, or in front of mine. He's possibly shot. He's possibly going to be heading away from the intersection of Rebot and Trout, down Rebot. It's gonna be over there.
You want me to stay with you or what?
Stay with me. We'll start this corner right here. He's gonna be in this area.
out of the car? Let me move this.
The gun is in the passenger seat. I can't tell if he's moving or not. He's moving.
77, the suspect has been detained. Slow it down.
He's
Is it unlocked?
He's moving.
Here, Island and Trump.
His head is moving.
I'm gonna move this out of the way real quick.
Pull him out. Move out of the way.
Hey, shit, last rescue we have on Steel West Side. So, Officer Gunfight.
Okay, I'm impressed. That video is impressive. I mean, his response to that whole situation, I wouldn't have thought that the deputy would have responded like that. I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah, 100%. We talked about it. I would want that deputy as my partner.
Oh, absolutely. He could ride. Look, I hope this guy watches this video.
Yeah.
And I will tell him, hey, man, you could be my wingman anytime.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about and break this video down.
So some of the things that I picked up on, and I will give a shout out and kudos to the guys over at Police Post. I saw this video from them, and they labeled three things some training points that I totally agree with all three of them. And we'll start with the first one, and that was slow to stop. So when you conduct a traffic stop and someone is not pulling over immediately, sometimes you can see that they're trying to find a safe place to pull over because maybe the driver feels like it's unsafe, which generally speaking, the cop should be dictating when, well, I shouldn't say should, they are going to dictate when they pull you over. So it's up to the officer to really find a safe location to pull somebody over. So sometimes that is the case, but when you have someone just kind of slow rolling, you know that like slow roll, dude, and you're like, man, what is this guy doing? Sometimes I pull into like a parking lot and they're like still slow rolling, and that is like, number one, it's a huge red flag. But number two, you got to put that out over the radio. Like, hey, this dude ain't stopping right now. Like immediately he's slow rolling. Maybe you see him reaching around. That little light bulb in your head needs to go off and know that something is not right.
Yeah, I think the immediate communication and broadcasting, like you said, is as soon as you recognize that car is not quite committing to a traffic stop, I would be voicing, hey, the car's not quite stopping, because I want people coming to me because I'm expecting something to happen. And the things that I looked for is, did they have a blinker on, or did they turn their blinker on? Are they like actually slowing down? Are they trying to merge over? Or are they trying to actually pull off the road? Those are the cues that I look at, or even putting their flashers on, or they like wave their hand at you like, hey, I know you're behind me. Those are the cues that I see where it's like, okay, this person's actually making an attempt and they're unsure of where to stop, or they're hyper aware of traffic, versus the one like this video where they just don't really stop and they're slow driving. And what's going through my mind is they're thinking of what they should be doing. Are they hiding or concealing something? Or are they actually trying to get something and take it out to use it as a weapon? Are they considering foot bailing? What is going on in that car and what the driver's mindset is?
Yep. And when I have that happen to me at work, I always once a vehicle finally does stop, which we'll get to next, but throw their hands out, ask them to throw their hands out the window, or maybe I'm going to stay back at my car and ask them to roll their windows down until I get some level of compliance from them. And if I don't, I'm not approaching that car. I'm going to wait for backup and probably now do a felony car stop on this thing, because those things just aren't adding up.
I like your approach on that of, I'm not going to approach the car.
Yeah.
Because you're right, there is something else.
Something's going on. Yeah, for sure.
And in this case, this car actually pulls into a driveway, which is even more of a red flag for me, because my thought is this person lives here, which is going to draw the homeowners or the other people in the house out, which is going to be problematic. So you're going to need to ask for additional officers.
Or a buddy's house and have all his friends come out. I mean, we've experienced that. That's
or they're going to get out and be compliant because maybe they don't think you'll tow their car if they're home, or they're going to try and run into the house.
Yeah.
Driveways to me are always like, this is something else is going on.
Yeah. Usually when a car pulls into a parking lot and they do the slow roll and park into a parking stall, I'm like, in my head, I'm always like, all right,
yeah,
probably
they don't have a license.
Don't have a license. They don't want their car towed. But yeah, in this case, he pulls into a driveway. And so again, it's just, now you've got two major red flags. One, he doesn't immediately pull over. 2, he chooses the location where he was going to pull over, which was a driveway. Maybe he doesn't know those people. I wouldn't rule anything out, but I would probably automatically be thinking like he probably has some type of friendlies here, and this is going to be an issue for me when they come out and make everything more confusing. So again, those are all things you need to be putting out over the radio that they're pulling in front of an address. And if something were to happen, which it does in this video, but let's say he gets out and runs, at least if you were to say, hey, the vehicle's pulling into 123 Main Street. He gets out, runs, something happens, whatever. They know exactly what house that you're at. So if you needed cover or whatever, like dispatch already knows, hey, he's at 123 Main Street. Now everyone knows exactly where to go, and you're not on some cross street. Hey, I'm mid block down. I'm in the 1000 block or whatever. Like they have an address.
Yeah. All good points on that. All right. So then now the deputy stops and gets out of the car. And another red flag is the vehicle that he's stopping, the door automatically opens. And that to me is like it's like a pucker factor. Like,
well, it's not normal
happening.
behavior.
It is not normal. You're right. It's like they are getting out because they are going to run or they're going to engage in some type of firefight. And that's what happens actually in this case.
Yeah. Anytime you are never taught in any type of driving lessons when you get pulled over to open your door, it's you roll your windows down. That should be everyone's initial response. So sometimes people do open their door because especially if they pull into a house driveway and he thinks he's at home, and he's going to get out and be like, oh, what did I do? Right. And play dumb. But generally speaking, it's not normal for people to open their doors. And so when you see that, you have to have a couple of options. One, if the person just opens the door, asking them to close it. 2, if they open the door and they get out, by the time you can put it in park, get out of the car, you're broadcasting everything over the radio, they might already be out of the vehicle. And in that case, I would say don't ask them to get back in the car because you don't know what's in the vehicle. They're already out of the car. Okay. I would either tell them sit down on the ground, wait for backup, or make them come to like the trunk of their car, lean against the trunk, but they're already out of the vehicle. So you're already now having to deal with this problem outside the vehicle. I would never ask them to sit back inside the car though.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And I like how this deputy immediately recognizes that and says, shut the door. But if they shut the door, you're getting compliance.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, maybe they're kind of nervous or something, but not in this case. So the driver points a handgun.
Dude, that was
and just
wild.
Immediate shooting, immediately.
That went from 0 to 1,000 in the snap of a finger. And honestly, like that's kind of unusual for someone to he doesn't get out of the car and engage the deputy, which he already started to. So I'm not sure why the suspect didn't just fully commit himself to get out of the car and been more accurate with his shots. He does shut the door, sticks that gun out the window and just starts shooting at the deputy. His response, the deputy's response, I thought was, dude, it's like like textbook.
Yeah.
The way he ran to cover, he returned fire. He's putting out super clear, accurate radio traffic on the air. I thought that was like, honestly, I don't know that I've seen a better response in a shooting than watching that.
Very, very impressive for sure. And I don't think a lot of training at the range prepares you for this type of a scenario.
No.
I'd really like to know what additional training this deputy has had, maybe military experience or maybe does some type of range shooting course outside
or he's
of
been
work.
in a shooting before.
Maybe, because immediately was moving. And we review a lot of body cams and a lot of the deputies and officers freeze, or the ones that have additional training or really are thinking and have their mindset are immediately moving. In this case, he moved quickly and continued to move and then recognizes, oh man, there's a big space where I have no concealment or cover, and then keeps moving. And we've talked about it. Like if the suspect is shooting at you, they know where you're at. So you've got to move. And he did an excellent job in this.
Yeah, he found that retaining wall.
Yeah.
Posts up, puts out good information, and then that guy freaking comes out of the car with a rifle. It looked like the barrel of like an AK-47.
Yeah.
Dude, that is major pucker factor because you brought a handgun to a rifle fight, and he is going to win every single time. And when he started taking like calculated shots, you can see where the rounds are hitting the window, which obviously hits the suspect. Dude, what kind of optics did he have on his handgun?
I knew you were going to bring this
I
up.
couldn't
And
see it.
you
didn't?
No, he did not.
Oh,
it was just iron
weird.
sights.
Weird. Okay, so for
Yeah.
all you optic red dot nut jobs out there, this just goes to show. Now, I'm not saying that couldn't have been handy in that situation, but he got the job done. Regular iron sights, and
that was a distance. I mean, that was pretty far. So I mean, this
super
is
accurate too.
skilled with a handgun for sure.
Yeah.
And the suspect, it just makes you think like this suspect is determined.
Dude, that guy was
He's
committed.
getting out. He drops the handgun and then he's pulling out a rifle.
Yeah.
And it had a
wild.
drum on it.
Wild.
You could see the picture. It has a drum on it. And it's a 9mm. Like, it's insane
Yeah.
what this guy was doing.
That is crazy. He's driving a nice car. It's just crazy to think like, dude's driving down the road, minding his own business, whatever, gets pulled over and just decides he's going to shoot it out with the officer.
Well, this suspect he had been arrested in the past for discharging a firearm in public and for resisting an officer without
Well, damn, just run. Like
actually fighting, which was kind of weird.
He
but
knows he's gonna get popped with those firearms, and you know, you're not supposed to have them. It's like, I don't know. Usually people are just gonna run from you, but he decided to shoot it out.
And it goes to show, like, it doesn't matter what the car is. You know, like you could look at that, and this deputy, I think he was actually assigned to a traffic detail at this point. Maybe it was like an overtime shift. But the car isn't going to dictate who's in the car.
Yeah.
So,
That was
but he
crazy.
did great communicating. He ended up getting shot in the foot.
Yeah, he did.
Still communicated well, continued to move, tried to coordinate with additional responding deputies, setting up a perimeter. And you could hear it seems like
No, sorry. And he's sitting there yelling at people like to get back, get back.
Yeah, he's
like doing everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he ends up saying like he thought the suspect might have actually fled from the car.
Yeah.
But he's at least putting out that information, he thinks, and now he's responding and actually coordinating that. Even though the suspect ends up staying in the car and ends up passing away at the hospital, but at least making officers aware of like, hey, where he could have gone. He's got a rifle. You've got to put that out.
Yeah, I think he was DRT. Yeah, so the only criticism I have for this whole video, and it could have been out of confusion because they thought he ran from the car. Nonetheless, I still wouldn't have cleared the car like this, but just approaching the car on foot like that, that kind of made me a little nervous, really nervous actually, because that dude had the potential to shoot any one of those deputies. I really like the idea of getting a drone, fly a drone into that car, or perch it up on the windshield to see what you could see. And if you don't even have that, then maybe get a dog, or if that doesn't work because you don't want a dog to get shot, then using a Bearcat or armored vehicle, or hell, even just a regular patrol vehicle, some type of cover. But just walking up with not even a shield or anything, that made me really nervous.
And one of the deputies didn't even have a gun out. And that's why it leads me to believe, because it's weird, they sped the video up during this time and it's really hard to process everything. I almost believe that they didn't think anybody was in the car and the suspect had actually fled, and they were going up just to see what's in the car and then came across the suspect.
Like, oh, shoot, he's here.
Yeah.
But still, I think even if that's the case, if I didn't know 1,000% sure that dude ran from the car and there wasn't somebody else in it, like I still wouldn't just walk up to it. But it's still a threat.
Yeah. And then
it hasn't been cleared.
The one other thing I noted on that was the deputy was at the front fender of the car, kind of where the door opens.
I don't know what she was doing.
Looking in. And I think that was at least a position of cover. But then when the other deputies move forward to try to remove him from the car, she ends up walking further away and gets more straight on, which opens up more of an angle to almost a crossfire, and then stands in front of the car. Yeah. I would have recommended just staying really tight up against that so you have a very, very close shot if you have to.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she was doing, but she did put herself in a bad position. Other than that, I mean, that honest to God was like the only thing that I saw in that video where I was like, I would have done that differently. But overall, that dude's response was like impeccable.
Yeah.
So
nice work. Good job on that one.
I would love to, if someone knows that guy, or he probably is going to watch this video, like, I don't know, send us an email. It's in the description. I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
That's all I have on that video. Job well done. Dude didn't live, and that's what you get for wanting to play cops and robbers with guns.
Yep. A lot of good talking points on this. It definitely makes you think 3 times about
Hell
doing
yeah.
traffic stops.
Yes,
a
it
lot of
does.
stuff to consider. The car itself, slow rolling, pulling into a driveway, the door opening,
Yeah.
and having the right mindset. A lot of good takeaways from this. Nice work.
All right. We will catch you guys on the next video.
Stay safe and be smart.